Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. You are watching to Veterinary Science for You channel with Dr. Muhammad Iltaf Hussain. If you are watching for the first time this channel, so subscribe the channel and click the bell icon to receive more such informative and new videos related to veterinary and animal sciences. Today in this lecture we will discuss aminoglycosides in detail. Aminoglycosides are natural semi-synthetic, potent broad-spectrum antibiotics that act through inhibition of protein synthesis. Streptomycin is the first aminoglycoside antibiotic discovered in 1944 by American biochemists Selman Waksman, Albert Schwartz, and Elizabeth Bogie, who isolated the compound from Streptomyces graeseus, a strain of soil bacteria, and is the earliest modern agent used against tuberculosis. Two amino sugars are joined together by inositol by a glycosidic bond and form aminoglycoside. They are organic molecules that contain amino sugar substructures. These antibiotics display bactericidal activity against gram-negative aerobes and some gram-positive bacteria also. This class of antibiotics shows serious toxicities like ototoxicity and nephrotoxicity. History of aminoglycosides. So this class of antibiotics developed approximately 76 years ago. Streptomycin was the first antibiotic developed in 1944. Kanamycin is in 1957, Neomycin 1949, Paromomycin 1959, Spectinomycin 1962, Gentamicin 1964, Tobramycin 1967, Cesomycin 1977, Amikacin 1972, and Nitromycin 1975. Examples are members of aminoglycosides. So they are divided into two groups. Systemic aminoglycosides are streptomycin, gentamicin, amikacin, kanamycin, tobramycin, nitromycin, cesomycin, paromomycin. And the second one is topical aminoglycosides. So they are neomycin and framycin. Properties of aminoglycosides are used as sulfate salts, which are high water soluble. Solutions are stable for months. They ionize in solution, not absorbed orally. Distribute only extracellularly, don't penetrate cerebrospinal fluid or brain. They are excreted unchanged in urine. They are bactericidal and more active at alkaline pH. There is only partial cross resistance among them. Low margin of safety. Mechanism of action of aminoglycosides. So aminoglycosides display concentration dependent bactericidal activity against most gram-negative aerobic and facultative anaerobic bacilli, but not against gram-negative anaerobes and most gram-positive bacteria. They require only short contact time. Transport of aminoglycosides through cell wall and cytoplasmic membrane, thereby binding to 30 Swedberg and 50 Swedberg ribosome subunits. Freeze initiation, prevent polysome formation and misreading of messenger RNA, resulting in inhibition of protein synthesis. Indications. So aminoglycosides are useful primarily in infections involving aerobic gram-negative bacteria such as Pseudomonas, Acinetobacter and Enterobacter. In addition, some mycobacteria, including the bacteria that cause tuberculosis, are susceptible to aminoglycosides. The most frequent use of aminoglycosides is empiric therapy for serious infections such as sepsis, complicated intra-abdominal infections, complicated urinary tract infections, and nosocomial respiratory tract infections. Infections caused by gram-positive bacteria can also be treated with aminoglycosides, but other types of antibiotics are more potent and less damaging to the host. One of the most frequent combination is ampicillin, a beta-lactam or penicillin-related antibiotic, and gentamicin. Often hospital staff refer to this combination as AMP and gent, or more recently called pen and gent for penicillin and gentamicin. The aminoglycoside gentamicin has been used to treat cystic fibrosis cells in the laboratory to induce them to grow full-length proteins. Routes of administration. So since they are not absorbed from the gut, they are administered intravenously and intramuscularly. Some are used in topical preparations for wounds. Oral administration can be used for gut decontamination. For example, and hepatic encephalopathy. Tobramycin may be administered in a nebulized form. Adverse effects of aminoglycosides. So, aminoglycosides can cause inner ear toxicity, which can result in sensory neural hearing loss. The incidence of inner ear toxicity varies from 7 to 90% depending on the types of antibiotics used, susceptibility of the patient to such antibiotics, and the duration of antibiotic administration. Another serious and disabling side effect of aminoglycoside use is vestibular ototoxicity. This leads to oscillopsia, gaze instability, and balance impairments that impact all aspects of an individual's anti-gravity function. This loss is permanent and can happen at any dose. Vestibular toxicity includes a headache, vomiting, nausea, dizziness, nystagmus, vertigo, and ataxia. Nephrotoxicity includes tubular damage, that is low glomerular filtration rate, nitrogen retention, albuminuria, costs, high concentration found in renal cortex, and toxicity related to total amount of drug received. Contraindication for specific diseases. Aminoglycosides can exacerbate weakness in patients with myasthenia gravis, and use is therefore avoided in these patients. Aminoglycosides are contraindicated in patients with mitochondrial diseases as they may result in impaired mtDNA translation, which can lead to irreversible hearing loss, tinnitus, cardiac toxicity, and renal toxicity. However, hearing loss and tinnitus have also been observed in some patients without mitochondrial diseases. Mechanism of resistance. Acquisition of cell membrane bound inactivating enzyme that adenylate or acetylate or phosphorylate drug, mainly by conjugation and transfer of plasmids. Nosocomial microbes have become rich in such plasmids, some of which encode for multi-drug resistance. Mutation decrease affinity of ribosomal proteins that normally bound to aminoglycoside, that is less common specific for particular drug, seen in E. coli. The third point is decreased efficiency of aminoglycoside transport mechanism, so that is less common found in Pseudomonas. Pharmacokinetics of aminoglycosides. So they are highly polar cations, very poorly absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract. Absorption of gentamicin from the gastrointestinal tract may be increased by a GIT disease. For example, ulcers or inflammatory bowel diseases. All the aminoglycosides are absorbed rapidly from intramuscular sites of infection. Distribution. Because of their polar nature, the aminoglycosides don't penetrate into most cells, central nervous system, or the eye. Plasma protein binding is negligible. Concentrations of aminoglycosides in secretions and tissues are low. Elimination. So how we can eliminate aminoglycosides? So aminoglycosides are excreted almost entirely by glomerular filtration. Large fraction of a parenterally administered dose is excreted unchanged during first 24 hours. Aminoglycosides can be inactivated by various penicillins in vitro and thus should not be admixed in solution. Precautions and interactions. So avoid during pregnancy, risk of fetal ototoxicity will be there. Avoid concurrent use of nephrotoxic drug, that is NSAIDs, vancomycin, cisplatin, amphotericin B, and cyclosporin. Cautious use of other ototoxic drugs, that is minocycline and furosemide. Cautious use in renal damage and old age. Cautious use of muscle relaxant. Do not mix aminoglycoside with any drug in same syringe. So that's all about aminoglycoside, class of antibiotics in detail. If you have any question or any confusion related to this topic, so you may ask through comments. If you have any suggestions, so you may also comment your suggestion in the comment box. Thank you so much. And those who are not yet subscribed my channel, so don't forget to subscribe my channel to receive more such informative and new videos related to veterinary and animal sciences. Thank you so much for watching.